The year is 1066. The King of England, Edward the Confessor, is dead, and there are 3 contenders for the prized throne. There is King Harald Hardrada in Norway, Duke William the Bastard in Normandy, and the Earl of Wessex, Harold Godwinson. The reasons for these claimants pressing their claims are both simple and a bit far-fetched. King Harald Hardrada's reason was that he was a descendant of King Canute of Denmark. King Canute was King of Denmark, Norway, and, you guessed it, England. William of Normandy had a more complicated upbringing, as it may not have been entirely true. He stated that Edward the Confessor had named him heir years before, and, well, Harold Godwinson, he was the strongest lord in England, and his sister was married to the king. So, the death of King Edward the Confessor was not surprising. He had fallen into a coma the year before, and of course people did not expect him to live much longer. He was buried in Westminster Abbey. The next day, the Anglo-Saxon council, known as the Witenagemot or Witan, chose the Earl of Wessex, Harold Godwinson. He was crowned on the same day as King Harold II. He did not waste any time, and gathered his army and just waited on the southern shore for the Norman invasion. However, it did not come, and Harold had to disband his army, because it was the start of autumn, and that was when you harvested the crops. So Harold marches back to London, thinking everything's okay, and then BAM! Viking invasion. So Harold Hardrada had arrived, and he had the support of Tostig Godwinson, Harold's own brother. The Vikings sailed up the river towards York and faced Earl Morcar of Northumbria and Earl Eadwine of Mercia at Fulford outside of York. The earls lost and fled. York was captured, and the Vikings camped by Stamford Bridge. By this time Harold had enough, and he gathered his army and marches from London to York in only 4 days, amazingly, and attacked Harold the same day. This was so surprising that most of the Vikings did not have time to put on their armor, even though they held out for a long time, but they could not survive forever. During the battle, Harold Hardrada was supposedly struck by an arrow in the throat. The Vikings fled, and the English had won the day. I still kind of find it sad, since this is acknowledged as the end of the Viking Age. However, Harold was not able to celebrate for long, as finally the Normans had landed in Pevensey. Then Harold, having had enough of invasions, marched south again really quickly and fought William at the famous Battle of Hastings. Unfortunately, our quickly marching king got an arrow in the eye and died along all his brothers. The English fled, and the Normans had won the day. Quickly, William marched on London, and he was crowned King William I of England, securing a French upper class even up till now, as some still have French surnames. Anyway, thanks for watching.